Hello, orienteering friends. Welcome to the recording of the second race of the weekend near Rakovnicky. Again, this was a short track, slightly longer than the day before. I'm racing in category H40A, and it was like 4.5 kilometers with 16-17 controls, I think. So here at the start, I must apologize for myself. I think I slightly violated the rules because I didn't fully run to the mapping start. Once I saw it, I basically started running towards control 1. I wanted to avoid this, I would say, non-runnable forest. It might be, I might have been able to walk through it, but I'd rather run than just walk through those non-runnable forests, because they can be full of branches, etc. I think here I still was on right track. Now passing some gamekeepers stand. So this was good. I knew where I am. Here I saw a control nearby, so I ran towards it. It was this significant tree, but the control number was different, so I knew that it's not mine. Then I noticed it in the map, and I also noticed that my control is on the other side of this vehicle road, so I continued. When I was checking the live logs later, this choice was not definitely the best. It was very long, and I ended up like 4th or 5th maybe to get to control number 1. To control number 2, I think it was an easy choice. I just followed this erosion gully or small valley, let's say. I tried to keep myself at the edge of it as long as I could, because I don't know, it doesn't felt like going downwards would help me anyway. And once I got as you can see, I saw a small path leading down, so that kind of led me to go into the valley, and then I was straight looking for some side valley where the control was, and I pretty much nailed it very well. So that was good. Now to control 3. First I decided to go according to the bearing that I took. And then when I got to that road, I saw this small hill in front of me, and I was trying to figure out how to avoid this climb. So I started running to the right around this hill a little bit. At the end, I think this was not a good decision. I think I should have continued straight up. Here I crossed this little valley, and then it looked, like not very runnable, and I wanted to, you know, like use it as a guidance, just that it will guide me to control number 3. But here I started to deviating. I didn't properly estimated the distance. I should have continued up the hill much longer, and this way I basically ended up on this small path that was like connecting those two bigger ones. For some reason I didn't really recognize the big one that I just passed, and now I thought that I'm on it, and when I knew that I'm on this clearing, that was also kind of like weird for me. Now I was kind of guessing where am I, and when I noticed that there is this big road, I finally found myself on the map and realized that I have to go back and up the hill. This was a very shallow, not shallow, like the incline was not that big, it was easy, and also I could see this erosion from afar, so it was quite clear where I'm headed. But of course here I lost some time, I guess maybe a minute, maybe 45 seconds. So next time I should be more careful about my decision. I should have stayed at this erosion gully much longer, almost to the end of it. Now to control 4, first I tried to avoid this small green patch, and then from that part I basically took a bearing and went almost straight to the control. This green patch on my right was a good guidance. Also I noticed that I'm, according to the map, I'm basically on a top of some kind of not a hill, but you know, contour. And I also noticed that of course control 4 is in this small valley, and from here I think I already planned to go to control 5. I plan to go around all these green patches of the, you know, forest that is more dense or non-runnable. I could have gone straight down and through the valley, but you know, you never know what's in those valleys, how dense it is there, etc. This way here I was quite sure that where am I, and I knew that if I just follow the valley I will be safe. And also I noticed that young non-runnable forest far across the valley, so that was also a good guidance. I started going closer to the valley now, as you can see. Still I wasn't very decided when to enter it. Okay, maybe here. I wasn't sure exactly where exactly I am. So, for example, here I was a little bit hesitant to continue. Yeah, but I noticed that this is the little side valley, and then that the control must be a little bit further. And yeah, you can see how these valleys look like, so that's why I rather ran through the forest. The control is here. Now to control 6, first I saw that I need to climb up from the volley, and I wanted to go more or less straight and to hit that vehicle road. I also noticed that there is some kind of like boundary, and so I wanted to kind of follow that boundary, or at least keep an eye on that boundary so that I know where I am. So here it was clear that I'm in this runnable normal forest, so I was going good direction. And of course I noticed that control 6 is near this gatekeeper's stand and whatever. So I also kept an eye on the gatekeeper's stands, and that's when I noticed this one on the right. I started looking for the control, not realizing that I didn't run enough. Of course I couldn't see any control nearby, but the control was in some kind of erosion, right? And here there was these how would you say it, like a small erosion for a stream, and that kind of confused me. So I looked around for the control for a while, maybe a minute, until I realized that I'm actually at the first gatekeeper's stand, and that I need to continue. Here at the road I just went straight. So I'm quite pleased how I'm able to follow the bearing at this point, and I was just still going on. It was this kind of forest where there are young trees everywhere, so you don't see that far, and that made me a bit uneasy. So that's why you see me a little bit stopping a little bit. And here I started looking for the control. Also other people were there, so for me that was a sign that I'm near the control. Now to control number 7, again, mostly my plan was very simple, to run according to the compass, and there was this small quarry around, so that was like one of the anchor points. And then there was this young non-runnable forest on my right. That's what I expected there. That's what I wanted to avoid, let's say. I kind of noticed it, so it was clear to me that I'm on a correct direction. And then there was this guy, and he was also running for the same control. So for me that was like he was like a leading man for me. Again, gatekeepers stand there, so all matched pretty well. And now I just checked the number of the control because I saw it. To control number 8, honestly, I took a bearing, but I more or less I followed that guy in the red shirt. So there is not much else to say. Apparently, you can see that he is younger and much fitter runner than I am. But here in this non-runnable forest, nobody can really, run that fast. I mean, now we are entering this non-runnable forest, which, branches everywhere. so it's not possible to run, at least not for me. He was trying, and yeah, I ended up a little bit too much on the left from the control, but I think it was okay still, you know. It was easy because the control was in this small volley right behind this yeah, greenish area, so I just followed that guy, and but I knew that the control will be there. It was fairly obvious. Now to control 9, yeah, it was uphill, so again I tried to take the bearing and then run through this young forest, and I tried to get to the vehicle road. When I got there, I already was a little bit tired of the running into the slope of this small hill. So instead of continuing in that direction, I just ran around on this road, and I was constantly checking my left side for the signs of some, you know, erosion. This looked like something that I would see. Here I also noticed this hashed area. That was also quite obvious that the control must be somewhere above it, and probably around here I already saw this small erosion, or how you call it. So it's a kind of a big ditch. Probably people took some gravel or from it, so they dig a hole in it, in the ground, and that's where the control was. So it was recognizable from afar. To control 10, here no other option than just take a bearing and run straight. There might have been some kind of contour, but very slight. I didn't really notice it, and I was looking for those tree trunks. They were kind of visible, and now I saw that actually this is an ant hill. No, it was a knoll actually, but there was an ant hill, and at first I thought that the control is at the ant hill. Yeah, to control 11, well, my aim was to get to the edge of that non-runnable forest, so I took a bearing and ran to that direction, and then I just wanted to follow the vegetation boundary between those two forests. I think I did quite well. The execution was good. It was a little bit hard for me to recognize these boundaries because the foliage is not yet at full bloom, let's say. So it was not that obvious at first, but at this point I already knew where approximately I am, and now basically I followed the boundary, and I wanted to get to the vehicle path. I should be there in a second. And then there was this another, it's probably a narrow right, which was going to the left, so that was another anchor point, let's say. Yeah, that, like, from here I took again bearing and ran more or less straight to the control. Of course, you are not, at least I'm not always that precise. Here I could have avoided this green patch, I think, and run around it. It would be more pleasant. I would have more flow. Yeah, now here I'm at this seasonal waterways or water streams. So I just followed them because the control was somewhere there. I try to keep near those, and yeah, then I found it quite easily. Here, because there was this young forest and I couldn't see too much in front of me, I think I did kind of a mistake and didn't take the proper bearing. I might have oriented myself wrongly. Maybe because of this other guy, I just took his direction, which he was running. So I ended up too much to the left. Basically, it added a couple of meters and also probably 10-15 seconds. Here I saw this feeder, so I started correcting myself around this point, and I knew that I have to run a little bit more to the right. I just wanted to get to the road first, and soon after I think I will go much more to the right. Yeah, here you can see I'm correcting myself, and I already kind of noticed, or at least I had a feeling that the volley will be in this direction. So I finally went the correct way, and yeah, find the control pretty easily here. It was at the right inside this volley, so nothing really difficult here. Yeah, here at the stand. So now to control 13, I thought that I did good route choice, but actually it wasn't probably the best one. First I took the bearing, ran over this small like nose, and I climbed through one of these side volleys. I think this was unnecessary. It was not really runnable. I was a bit tired. I think I could have figured something else, maybe to go to that main road straight from the control 12, and then maybe find the curvature of this road, and from there to control 13. Instead, I started. I was trying to hit this vegetation boundary. I thought that I'm kind of at the narrow right that is on my right, as you can see in the map, and it kind of matched, you know, here when I crossed this path I also saw something resembling vegetation boundary, so I thought I'm following it correctly, but as you can see I was a couple meters to the left, and that's why I ended up in this small side volley, and I didn't found the control and basically ended up almost in the volley. Now I'm kind of lost, let's say, but I started looking and I started thinking, and then I basically saw the control on the top of the hill. I think I might need to, you know, yeah, here I saw the control. It was clearly visible from afar, so that was maybe a good luck as well, but as you saw I lost at least like 15 seconds, maybe more, maybe 30 seconds. I think that's more realistic. And then I also noticed that there was some guy leaving the control in this direction. So I thought he might be one of my opponents, and I just followed him in this general direction. Of course I did take a bearing. Of course I kind of followed the terrain, but I saw him in front of me, so it was kind of you know, easy to navigate. I didn't have to think too much. Here this control, I knew that it's not mine. It's this erosion gully. I just followed that guy and ran into the hill, and I knew that our control will be somewhere further, like in some kind of curve of this hill. So I expected the control to be somewhere around where the guy is now, and then it was visible. So this was also kind of easy to find, at least according to the contours. Now to control 15, at first I somewhat followed that guy, because I figured that it's a good strategy to run around this hill, you know, maybe to climb a little bit. You don't really have to run at the bottom, but in this case I think I didn't have to climb this little slope. I could have run straight down. It would be faster. And then once we like descended into this valley, I knew I saw this green patch in front of me, and then I knew that I want to kind of go straight. So this was fairly obvious. I don't know what he was thinking, what his strategy was. I basically went straight to the control 15. I kind of used that other gatekeeper's stand, which was somewhere in front of me, as an anchor point, and then I wanted to get to this greenish patch, which was to the left of that gatekeeper stand. I guess I saw it already here. So now it was more about my endurance and you know, how much I will push it. As you saw, I wasn't really running. Now I think I will start to go left around this green patch. For me it was like a leading point from which I wanted to go like straight to the control, straight left to the control. Also, this guy looked like he's going for the same control as I am. Now he deviated, I don't know why, so I didn't care too much about him at this point. For me it was more about, you know, figuring out how to get through this non-runnable forest. Actually, this was like really thick, you know, all these young trees, and I usually get myself injured. So here the point that was like keeping me on check was this erosion thingy, gully maybe. So when I found it, I started looking around and I basically hit the control, which was nice. So from there, again, it was easy because I just wanted to get out of this non-runnable forest as safely as possible. Generally in the direction that basically I came from, you know. So that was my intentions. Yeah, finally I get through it. Then I crossed this little valley here. Come on. I thought that I was running more, but apparently I was already a bit exhausted. Still checking the map instead of running. But okay, it was easy because I knew that I need to pass again this slightly non-runnable forest, which is like, you know, when the loggers will cut some trees and just left them lying there. Then I got to that main road, and again I was considering going around, but then it seemed that it would be longer, so I rather decided to go through it. It seemed that it will be it will be passable easily, but definitely it wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't runnable. And then I just looked around and saw the control on my left, so again this was kind of easy. To number 17, I basically wanted to get to these vegetation boundaries, and it was at this stage it was difficult to figure out which part of these non-runnable forests is the greener one and which one is less green. So I kind of just ran into this one. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not really fully decided. So here again, this was not really runnable, for at least not for me. I know that, you know, some other guys are able to, you know, fight through it. And then here I found this like runnable forest, so it was kind of reassurance that where I am. And I also noticed this big forest on my left, so I also knew that okay, I'm somewhere at the edge of this big forest, so my control must be somewhere in front of me. I'm not really sure why I'm not running now. It was fairly obvious where I am. Probably I'm still struggling with myself, with my self-confidence, let's say. But here it was, here I already saw the control, so it was okay. And from control 17, again, first thought, get out of this mess, get out of this massive forest, and then I knew that it's somewhere at the edge of the valley. Here I'm just taking the bearing. I usually try to be, try to run according to it. I think it was not necessary. I think in this case you could just orient yourself according to this erosion gully or valley. And at first I didn't saw exactly where the I saw the control, but I wasn't sure that this control is mined. I expected it a little bit further, and when I got here, I noticed that for sure there was this, parts, these erosions where seasonal water will run. Here I did a mistake. I should have run straight up to the forest, to the hill. I was just, maybe tired, and I tried to avoid it, and I ended up at this non-runnable forest, and I probably lost a couple seconds here. So other than that, it was fine, and now basically I'm going to the finish, and I'm trying to push it as much as I can. So at the end I ended up second in the race. I had a pretty good feeling overall, because I didn't do any major mistake. There was one to control 3, which was a like bigger loss, and then maybe the one to control 6. So those two mistakes probably cost me the first place. Also now I remember that control number 13, or I think it was 13, where I did a mistake, but I'm not perfect. So at the end I was satisfied with my performance, and in the finish I met a couple of people from my club, so we went back, and yeah, it was a good race. I enjoyed it much more than the day before, and yeah, that's it. So see you at the next recording. Bye.